The film began with a bombing scenario that occurred during World War II close to Nagasaki, Japan. A soldier by the name of Yoshida starts to set certain American soldiers free. Logan, the main character of the film, was seen in a particular cell that has a dungeon-like appearance. He was told to leave the cell by Yoshida, who cut the chains and opened the dungeon. 3 Japanese soldiers line up to perform the unthinkable. They would rather die by the sword than perish from a nuclear weapon. However, Yoshida was debating in his mind whether to do the same or not. A beautiful nuclear bomb was dropped by the B-29 bomber, and a huge fireball engulfed Nagasaki. Logan instructed Yoshida to enter the dungeon in order to save himself. Logan covered Yoshida with a metal sheet and his own body to protect him. Logan sustained third-degree burn injuries from the incident. Yoshida was taken aback to witness how quickly this kind of injury healed on its own. Yoshida handed Logan a samurai sword as a token of gratitude for saving and defending him, but Logan insisted that Yoshida keep it and promised to return for it in the future. Logan was having hallucinations in the present regarding his girlfriend Jean's passing. He made her a vow that he wouldn't murder anyone ever again. It was too late when Jean told him. The sight of his claws stuck in her stomach and oozing blood frightened him. He wakes up in a wooded area screaming. When he reaches for his radio to play some music, he discovers that the battery is dead. After that, he hurried to a nearby town to purchase some batteries. When he came back, a giant grizzly bear that had been his animal companion was wounded by a poisoned arrow. Logan immediately confronted the hunters because it is against the law to hunt those creatures. He caught them in a bar where people were drinking and immediately began to beat the crap out of them. A little while afterwards, Yukio, a girl, chased him after him to get him to stop beating the crap out of them. Yukio then displays a samurai sword to the hunters, explaining to them that it is 100 years old and known as the dancer, or the separator, because its main usage is to cut off people's hands and limbs from their bodies. She then uses the sword that almost killed the hunters to show off her combat skills. Yukio is able to predict the future. Logan follows her out of the bar. She told Logan that Yoshida had sent her. The man he saved in Nagasaki, Japan, during World War II, 70 years ago. She continues by saying that Yoshida is currently dying of cancer and would like to personally thank him for saving his life 70 years ago. To see Yoshida, they both take a flight to Tokyo. Logan had to get ready and cut his beard before he could see Yoshida. Our man was forced into the bathtub since he was unwilling to clean up so easily. Yoshida calls Logan because he thinks it is possible to pass on Logan's immortality and capacity for self-healing. Logan requested that Yukio fly him back home after being insulted by his remarks. Logan was observing Shingen, Yoshida's son, who was mistreating Mariko, his own daughter. Mariko decided to commit suicide by throwing herself from the top of the building since she was tired of her continued abuse. However, Logan, who was watching her from a distance, ran and saved her. Dr. Green, Yoshida's oncologist, entered Logan's room while he was sleeping and kissed him in order to inject a parasite into him. When Logan awakens, he believes it to be a delusion. A short while later, it was stated that Yoshida had passed away because the cancer had reached his heart. Yoshida's funeral was held in Tokyo a few days later. Logan and Yukio came for the funeral. Logan observes with horror that the priests holding Mariko's hand at the funeral are some yakuza, a group of kidnappers. Between Logan and the kidnappers, war broke out. Logan assists Mariko in escaping the captors. Logan was hurt because Dr. Green's parasite she had earlier implanted in him prevented his body from repairing itself. To travel to Nagasaki, where Mariko's paternal grandfather Yoshida was born, they both boarded a train. Logan questions Mariko about the motivation behind the kidnappers' pursuit of her inside the bus. She informed him that she would succeed his grandfather as head of the Yoshida Corporation in 3 days and that her abductors were scrambling to take her hostage in exchange for a sizable payment. They both traveled to Nagasaki, the hometown of Mariko's grandpa, believing no one would be looking for them there. The couple had a romantic encounter that day. Logan wakes up the following morning and cannot locate Mariko. The kidnappers locate them and take Mariko hostage. Logan pursued them but was unable to overtake the captors. To aid Logan in locating Mariko, Yukio travels to Nagasaki. Mariko was taken to his father, who was happily waiting for them, by the kidnappers. When Mariko asks her father to explain, he responds that he has spent his entire life working hard and waiting to take over the Yoshida family business after his passing. However, he later learned that Yoshida had left the business to her by will, and for that reason, he plotted with the kidnappers to have her killed so that he could take over the business. A group of black ninjas appeared out of nowhere, killed the kidnappers, and then took Mariko. Only dead bodies were present when Logan and Yukio arrived a little while later. Later, they discovered one of the remains that contained a clue to Mariko's location. Logan headed to Yoshida's private chamber, which was equipped with cutting-edge technology. Logan chose to use one of the room's X-rays to scan himself, and he was startled to discover a metal parasite hooked to his heart. Dr. Green implanted this parasite in him to hinder his capacity for self-healing. He made a cut in himself and got rid of the parasite. After the parasite was eliminated, our hero became powerful. Later, they both returned to the area to look for Mariko. Logan and the ninjas started fighting. They shoot him with a poisoned arrow, which renders him helpless and causes him to faint. When Logan wakes up, he discovers that he is inside of a machine. He notices a massive humanoid robot in his right hand. To remove his immortality and capacity for self-healing, the robot advances on him and starts to sever his claws. It was noted that Yoshida was the one inside the robot and that he had faked his own death. Yoshida seeks to eliminate Logan's immortality and capacity for self-healing. Logan was freed after Mariko was able to release herself from one of the ninjas. He brutally assaulted them and destroyed the robot.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the video.